Welcome to At the Regent by Shannon. I'm so happy to be out and about in our beautiful Tampa Bay area. I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing at our upcoming New Year's Eve party. And the reason we've chosen the Bahamas to be our charitable cause for that. You may say there's a lot of great things here in the Bay Area to be able to give to or to give back to. Why would we go outside of even our own country? Well, it's because the Bay understands what it's like to be on the shoreline. The Bay understands what it's like to have those hurricanes hit. This is an area that's been crazily devastated by these things. There are communities that will probably never bounce back. And what we can do as a community is give just a little bit back to those people. So here we are. We're out here and out by the beautiful waters here in Tampa to give you a little piece and a refresher of what it's like to live in those places when it's, you know, beautiful at the time. But there are those moments where the things have been broken apart and things are devastated, and we would like to show them that we understand, that we know how they feel. And I can't wait for us to talk a little bit about that this week on At the Regent by Shannon.
Welcome to 3C's Catering. I'm here with Andy Dennis, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his business and how he's came about and started. And when did you start your business?
We started back in 2006 as a division of Cheddar's Restaurant. I was the director of operations for a gentleman that owned some Cheddar's restaurants, and back when the economy was really bad, gas at $4 a gallon and everything, we were trying to find a way to generate revenue without increasing our overhead. So we started doing some catering out of our Cheddar's restaurants.
Oh, very nice. So when you started your business, what did that staff entail? What was it to go out into the catering field?
Well, it was just my wife and I, and then we kind of hand selected people from the restaurant as we needed, but it was mainly her and I. We'd pick up food from the restaurant, we went and set up, we did everything. Everything you see here was in our garage at home, and as we grew, then our staff grew.
That's fantastic. So what kind of events was it that you started with when you started?
We started doing just one event a month for the Crossing Church. We donated the food. They gave us $100 to cover staff and expenses. And we just got people that were interested in what we were doing, so we started doing then some fundraisers. We're trying to do things that were going to be forgiving as we were going through the learning process.
Sure.
We never wanted to bite off more than we could chew, you know? So as we grew to that, then we got into some corporate stuff, and then we ventured out into weddings and never looked back.
Oh, and we absolutely love every time you come in for one of our weddings and for our corporate events. They're always done so well. The food is cared for so nicely. The presentation is always something that is a highlight in the room. How is it that you come about your menu and your cuisines? What is it that melded it into what it is? Well,
I'm fortunate to have great people in the kitchen. I've got a director of food and beverage that has worked with me for 16 years. He's actually my daughter's godfather.
Oh,
our executive chef has been with us for 9 years. Our sous chef has been with us for 6 years. So we've got good people in the kitchen that really love to play with food.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, it sounds like you have a family.
We do.
More so than a staff.
We really do, yeah. And they take a lot of pride in what they do, and I'm fortunate that they're all from diverse backgrounds.
Right.
So I have different specializations in the kitchen, so we can do a lot of different menus by having a different person in the kitchen focus on putting that menu together.
So you said that your staff originally started with 2.
Yep.
What would you say that your typical staff entails now today?
Well, right now on any given payroll, I write about or print about 15 checks and handwrite about 10 to 40, depending on season and what we have going on. Last week we had 47 events last week.
That's amazing. amazing.
So
that
I wrote a lot of checks.
Yeah, have so much community involvement, and these people that have jobs that keep them and carry them through most of the year. Whenever they get to the holiday season and they need that little boost,
Exactly.
it's such an amazing thing that you have a service that is in need of that,
And
you're
this
able
time
to
of the
fill
year,
it.
it's perfect for them because I need people and they need money.
It's
So
absolutely ideal. It's wonderful. So, what is a client that you reach out to for these corporate events? You told me once before you do like Coca-Cola. They have very large staff. I
They do,
imagine.
yeah. We've done, last year they did 2 events that was about 800 people. This year it was down to 1 event that was between 600 and 700 people.
Mm-hmm.
And most of ours, it's word of mouth. I mean, it's really being good at what we do, focusing on taking care of the client,
Right. So
do
what
your
is-
event like you would want your own event done.
Exactly. So, what is your maximum occupancy that you have actually done?
The largest event we've ever done is 1,600 people. We've done several events over 1,000.
Right.
But the occupancy also depends on a lot. It depends on the location, the menu, the level of service, the time of day. A lot goes into what, like a sit-down plated event. 500 or 600 people would be probably our max for that.
Sure.
Buffet, like I said, we've been up to 1,600.
So that's perfect for us at the Regent because our maximum occupancy is about 1,425. So easily 3Cs could come in and fill that need for us, and they have many, many times.
Many times.
And we're so proud of every time that y'all walk through the door.
Appreciate that.
They care from the minute that they arrive in the vans to unloading and to the plating of the courses. It's always done with such pride and care, and we appreciate that so much when you come into our facility. So tell us a little bit about what it takes for your staff to get ready. What time were you here this morning?
So our staff started at about 5 o'clock this morning. I get a little text every time the alarm gets set or turned off here at the building. So our chefs got here about 5 o'clock this morning. And today's a long day because today is a tasting day.
Right.
So we have tastings all the way up until 8 o'clock. So my director of food and beverage will be here until probably 8 o'clock tonight.
Sure.
So we have some long days. So the staff comes in, our front of the house staff has their checklists, they have their banquet event orders, they start pulling all the supplies they need, get them all loaded into the van, take everything that they can over to the event to set up. Today we're at the fairgrounds for about 300.
Oh, wow.
They get everything set up over there, and then somebody from the kitchen brings all of the hot food as last minute as possible.
Right.
We want the food to be as fresh as possible, so it never goes with the staff when they go to set up. It always comes by somebody trained to handle food,
Right.
or one of our managers, whether it's me, somebody from the kitchen. They always bring the food, they always handle the food. When food service is done, they leave with all of the food supplies, and the front of the house staff does what they do.
That's awesome. That's so fantastic that everybody has their role,
Yep.
and then they fill that, and they are not overextended, they're not
Right. Very
overworked,
important.
and everybody has quality service given over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about the process that it would take whenever one of the clients I send to you
Sure.
comes in? How
Absolutely.
does that unfold?
So we get a phone call or email from somebody that says, hey, I spoke to Britt at the Regent. She recommended you. I'm interested in, let's say it's a wedding, interested in you catering our wedding in March of next year.
Sure.
Great, let me send you a copy of our menu. Take a look at it. We'll send you a tasting form for them to fill out. We schedule them for their own private tasting, which is actually done right here in this room. They come in where they've selected menu items that they want to try, and chef prepares them, brings them out to them. We answer any questions we can, whether it's about food, catering, weddings. I always tell them we do hundreds of weddings a year. You do not, so ask any questions that you want. Then we build a menu for them right there at the tasting. So they leave our tasting with an exact invoice of what it will cost them. No more additions, no more changes, no more anything. They know exactly what it's going to cost before they ever leave.
What a peace of mind to have that concept in your mind while you're paying close attention to a budget.
Absolutely.
And the food cost can be one of the largest
Absolutely
parts
can.
of the
You
budget.
bet.
And so to know that you're getting a good piece of that puzzle filled with such a quality food service, but mostly customer service. I mean, and not that I'm digressing at all on your quality of food, because the food that he brings in, every single time my mouth is watering and I'm so thrilled. But the way his customer service of all of his employees, there is no exception.
I'm lucky. I'm very blessed to have really good people that take a lot of pride in what they do, have a lot of loyalty, like we say, loyalty to the cause. You know, our philosophy is we're in the people business. It just so happens that we serve food.
Right.
You know, so it's all about taking care of people. When they come in for the tasting, we want them to feel special. We want them to be able to feel comfortable asking any questions that they can. And if I don't know the answer, one of our chefs will come in and sit down with them and answer anything. We're also one of the few caterers in the area that we will modify any of our recipes that we can.
Oh,
95% of the stuff we make is made from scratch in-house. So if you want something, it's too salty, it's not seasoned enough, it's too seasoned, whatever, we make those notes right on your menu, and the day of your event, we will make those adjustments.
That's fantastic. The way that you make that exception
Yeah.
to that menu, I imagine that you have a lot of bride and grooms that come in and they are not agreeing on
Absolutely.
what the palette of the menu should fall into. I'm sure that you handle a lot of that.
And not everybody likes everything. I mean, not everything we serve is for everybody.
Right.
And our philosophy is we want you to eat what you like, not just what we offer on the menu.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
such a beautiful practice.
It's a difference maker. I mean, it really is.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, so tell us a little bit about your events that you reach out to. I know that I see you for corporate and wedding and my charity functions. What else is it that you offer in service?
Well, pretty much every level, from party platters that you come pick up to full service sit-down weddings. We have 9 funeral homes that we do all of their celebrations of life for. So needless to say, there's not a lot of notice for those. So we have to be able to plan and react pretty quickly to events.
Oh, I can imagine.
Weddings, I mean, we had 13 of them last weekend. Today we're at the state fairgrounds for an event there, and a lot of charity stuff. Whether it's charity golf tournaments or some of the fundraisers like that you guys have been a part of there. We do a lot of charity events. And then we do a lot of party platters. People that want to come in and pick up something for the family, pick it up for birthday parties, rehearsal dinners, that kind of stuff.
So do you have a specialty cuisine that you offer to these different businesses and such, or is there a diversification in that? Or?
Yeah, there's 2 things that we do. We try to build menus for people based on what their event is looking for.
Sure.
Who's their client? They know that much better than we do. Who's coming? Who's going to eat? I'm fortunate enough to have good people in the kitchen. That my director of food and beverage is from Louisiana, so he can do all kinds of not only American, but Cajun flair. Our executive chef went to school for years to be trained on culinary with a specialization in Asian food. Our sous chef is from Mexico, so he can do a lot of our Spanish flair. Our cafe chef is local, so she can do a lot of local Floridian stuff. And then we have another gentleman that works on part-time basis for us that is from the Caribbean.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
he can come in and help with Caribbean flair.
Sure.
So it's really important to us to match up to them. What are you looking for? And then let's build that menu around what your event needs.
That's fantastic. Seems to me that you have a person in his pocket for everyone.
We got a lot of people, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
to have such a beautiful staff with such beautiful talents. We love having you in. And can you show us around your facility?
Sure, absolutely.
Yay. All right, so Andy, here I am. I'm in 3Cs for the very first time. Walk me through what the process is going to be for me as your future client.
Sure. So you're coming in for a tasting. We've obviously already talked to you either by phone or email. We've got all of your stuff ready. We've got the room set up. You walk in the door. First thing you're going to see is you and your fiance's name on here. This one says welcome because of your corporate client.
Right.
For a bride and groom, it's going to say congratulations with their name. So that's going to welcome it in first thing. A lot of people take pictures with it. At the end of the day, I take this piece of paper out, I give it to them, they can take it home with them.
Oh, souvenir.
Yeah, exactly, right. They love that kind of stuff.
Of course, scrapbooking and all the purposes.
Well, the biggest mistake I think that I tell my staff not to make is every wedding we do is those people's #1 day in their life. Don't let it be just another event to us.
Sure.
It's a big thing to them.
Yeah.
We can't get caught up
it's
in the
once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime for them.
Right.
For us, it's not. So we have to make sure that we're treating it that way.
And not lose that
That's right.
nostalgia.
That's right. You cannot take that for granted because
of course.
some of these people have been thinking about this day for decades.
Right.
You know, so you got to make it a big deal.
And that's super important.
Right.
I love
Right.
that.
Right. So they come in. We welcome them on into this way, where we have come through our hall here, and I'll take you into where they'll be, and then I'll show you around the rest of the office first.
Fantastic. Yay.
So then we bring them in here where we've got the room all set up for them. We've got the different china, that kind of stuff on. We've got a table over there that shows all the different options that you have for serviceware, flatware, that kind of stuff. We have a slideshow up here that shows some of the events that we've done, some of the food that we offer, and it also has their same congratulations that you see out there up here on the board. So we sit down, they're at one end of the table, we're typically at this end of the table, and chef brings food out for them. Sets it down, I go through the whole process with them. You know, I always start off every tasting with there'll be two uncomfortable parts of a tasting. The first one where I watch you eat, and the second one where you watch me type. You know, because I want to lighten the mood. You know, I want to start it off that way. So chef brings food out for them. They try everything on the menu. I answer any questions that I can for them. We talk about the different likes, dislikes. Then we go right into building a menu for them, and we build it however they want to see it. We don't really specialize in packages, so to speak. We specialize in putting packages together.
Customizations.
Exactly, right. So if you want 2 hors d'oeuvres or 10 hors d'oeuvres, you want 1 entree or a 3 entree buffet, entirely up to you. We're gonna build it however you want. Some people need something built around a budget, very specific. Some people need it built around a menu. This is what I want, or this is all I've got. What can you give me?
Sure.
You know, so we build it either way. And then if there's any questions that I can't answer, chef will come in and sit down with them and talk about food for as long as they like and answer any questions they can about that. So.
Very nice, very nice. So I also see that you have different sets of china, so you offer different kinds of ranges of china.
Right, so we own 2 different types of china ourselves, and then we have partners, vendor partners that we can get other stuff for. So if they want gold or blue or any other types of china, we can definitely partner with them and get that. But we own 2 different patterns ourselves. And then we also have, like what you see here, premium disposables. It's the hard plastic stuff that looks real, that isn't, and it's very popular actually. I mean, probably 80% of the events that we do go that route.
Yeah, we see it quite often in our facility.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. You know, I always ask people that are kind of, you know, teetering back and forth, should I do disposable, should I do china? I always ask them, what did you eat off of at the last wedding you went to? And that's what they get. It's like, I don't know. Right. It's like, exactly. Most people don't remember.
Right.
So don't think that you have to go one way or the other.
Right.
And the biggest piece of advice that I give couples is very important. It's your day. Do what you want, plan it the way you want it. You'll never make everybody happy.
That's true. That's true.
And so many people come in with the, well, I like this, but my guests will like this. And you start talking to the Johnsons to find out what they want, and then the Smiths are mad because you didn't talk to them. The best answer you can give somebody is, Britt, how did you choose the menu for your wedding? It's what my fiance and I wanted. Case closed.
Right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So
get what you wanted.
Right. That's exactly right. Yep. So here's the kitchen. We're here in the kitchen with our executive chef, Chef Rick. Rick and I have worked together for coming up on 10 years now, just over 9 years, and this is where the magic happens. I mean, I would love to say that I'm a food guy. I'm not. I own a catering company, but if I'm in the kitchen, we are desperately in the weeds. So Chef oversees all of the staff, works with our Director of Food and Beverage, Chris, to make all of the food the way that they do. In fact, he's cutting fresh bread now to put together for our creme brulee French toast casserole that is going out to an event on Thursday, I believe. Yes. So everything that the quality of food comes through him and our Director of Food and Beverage, and it all happens right here in this kitchen.
We're up against another catering company, and whoever made the best French toast creme brulee won. And it's on our menu because we won.
Yep.
We won that contract, and we were happy to do it. We just take this French bread, we dice it up into quarters, and I will take a mixture and mix it up all up in here. I'll put it in a pan that looks like this after it's empty. And then what we do is I put the mixture in and I let it soak overnight. Then it takes about an hour to go ahead and to bake the next morning. And then we take this, to make it the creme brulee part, we sprinkle sugar on the top of it, and we take a torch, just like you would creme brulee.
Creme brulee.
Yep.
Except it's with French bread.
Well, really delicious.
It's French toast is what it is.
Right.
It's got that creme brulee hard toss.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
it's good. We have a lot of our guests who love it. Again,
I'm quite fond. I know what this is.
you know what this is? Well, I'm glad.
I smell it when it hits the door.
Well, good.
Chef knows whenever he makes it, he's got to do at least one extra half pan to take home for me.
Absolutely. brown sugar bacon.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to try these?
Please.
Oh, well,
Of course.
all right. All right. Well, there you go. Got a little bit of brown sugar on it and pepper.
Oh, wow.
And we put that, we serve it with breakfast, but we also serve it on our club sandwiches.
Your mama ain't got nothing on this. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, but I wish I could say I invented that, but I didn't. I inherited that, but it's a delicious product.
It absolutely is perfect. It is absolutely delicious. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So Andy's going to show us around a little bit of Cafe Delaney.
So when people come in, they come right up here to place their order. We have copies of the menu here. We're doing little things for box tops for education. My daughter collects those. Then we have our Delaney's lemonade stand set up here, which has its own menu. Any items ordered off of this menu, all the proceeds from that are donated to a charity that my daughter picks every month. The menu changes every week, the charity changes every month. She started this back in April, all her idea, and since she started it in April, she's donated just over $7,600 to local charities.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, so, and I can't stress enough, she's 7 years old, all her idea. We had nothing to do with it. She came up with it. She worked with Uncle Chris, our director of food and beverage, to create the items, to come up with the philosophy. Her and my wife built this lemonade stand to put here, and then we track it every month, and then at the end of the month, we donate to the charity. She reaches out to different charities. She does her own research for them, and she decides who she wants to focus on, sends them an email, reaches out to them and says, hey, I'd like you to be my charity. Typically, we try to go and do a tour of the facility, which I love because my daughter's getting a lot of education by going to do that. And then we share these on social media, and my wife tags the rescue of the month every time that she does it. So we're also bringing more, bringing more promotion.
So here it is. No matter how old or young, you can make a difference in your community by just giving a little bit extra and thinking about things outside of the box. Or maybe even in the lemonade stand.
Right?
Well, we had a fantastic time here today, Andy. I want to thank you so much for showing us around, and thank you for walking me through the process and letting me know that the pride starts in the building and not at my front door. I appreciate you so much and all that you and your staff do for us at the Regent, and I want to thank you so very much for everything.
All right. Well, it was our pleasure to have you guys here. I mean, it's been a fantastic. I really am honored to be a part of the show, of course. Our vendor and venue partnerships are very, very important to us, and I'm very passionate about what I do, so being able to talk about my job is fun. Being in the people business, doing the tastings, telling people and educating them about what catering is very important to me and very passionate. So I truly appreciate you guys coming down. Glad you had a good time. So if you need catering, whether it's party platters that you need to come pick up, full service weddings, corporate events, anything you need, please don't hesitate to call us. Come on down, sit down, we'll build a menu for you, whether you need to build it around a budget, a menu, specific food items, whatever you need, we'll be glad to help take care of you.
Well, that's 3C's Catering, and thank you, Andy, and thank you for coming and joining us and checking it out. And we can't wait to see you around the Regent, and we can't wait to check in with you next time.
It's a luxury to live in these amazing places like we have here in Florida. And imagine it being devastated by one horrible storm. And so the great thing that we're going to be able to do at the Regent with our New Year's Eve party is to be able to give back to that. You may say, hey, I'm just a small person in this crazy big world. It's okay, because each of us with just a little bit of help can help our neighbor, no matter how far they are. You may have just, $5 you can give, or you may just be able to come and party the night away with us. But the thing is if we don't step out of our comfort zone, if we don't move forward and we don't do things for other people, we never leave a thumbprint on this earth helping others. So it's time for you to get up. Look for those things around you. This may not be the cause for you, but there is a cause for you. There are things that inside of you just stir, and passions inside of you that only you can give to this world. So it's time to find those things. Get out in the world. Meet your neighbor. How many of us don't even know our next door neighbor? It's funny, I live in a neighborhood and I probably know 3 people who live in there, right in the proximity of where I live. It's time for us to get out to know one another, learn about one another, learn the things that we each need, the things that maybe we have resources that they don't. It's time for us to get up, learn about ourselves, and move forward and do great things for each other. It's time for us to give back. I'm so excited that you get to come and join us for the New Year's Eve party that we have coming up. It's going to be amazing. It's a glow party. It's going to be so much fun. And we get to party the night away, the new year in, the 2020 vision that's coming this direction. We get to be part of that while still doing a great thing for a good cause and helping the people in the Bahamas. So please come on out and join us at the Regent for the amazing, wonderful fun that's unfolding just for us.